Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between Brain and Light here on Hitchhiker. This is an RJB recommended replay, so you know it's going to be good. I had a request on my live stream on Sunday for a Hitchhiker replay. RJB said we have a lot of those, and he recommended me one. I'm not entirely sure if those two conversations are related, but hey. If you're not watching the live streams on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern in the United States, be there or be square. You can interact with me live. Top left-hand corner is the teal Terran player. It is Light. And in the bottom right, it is the purple Protoss. Red Protoss player. Rushed threw me off there. Red Protoss player. It is Brain. Brain, kind of more known in his early days for fastest map stuff. But holy smokes, as he made a splash on the scene, doing the 1v1 as well and competing at a high level and doing crazy stuff. Now, Light is quite possibly the best Terran player on Earth right now as the gas steal comes in from Brain. Interesting. Haven't seen that in some time. We'll see if it does mess with Light at all. And another cool thing is that RGB was able to come up with a Light replay pack, which is massive and has incredible matches against players like Brain. So I'm very excited to see what else is going to come out of there. RJB, if you don't know, runs his own YouTube channel for StarCraft stuff, mostly fastest map style things, but he loves Brood War. I mean, probably more than I do, if I had to estimate. Oh, is that? Man, this probe is being so... I mean, Brain's like, look, I have 400 APM. I might as well use it on something here in the first minute of the game, because back home, all I'm doing is throwing up a gateway and just not even worrying about walling off or anything like that, because again, it's against a Terran player. So yeah, please check out RGB TV on YouTube doing the StarCraft Brood War stuff, and tell him that Falcon sent you, and he will be happy to hear that. All right, in the meantime, this is some of the most aggressive probe annoyance I have seen in some time from Brain here. He's not willing to go home. He's been taking hits. He's almost dead, as we've seen him take several hits while I've been rambling on, and one more hit will not quite kill him at this point, as the shields are regenning back up here. But he doesn't want to stop moving. If you stop moving, you die. It's like a shark. Did you know that? As sharks stop moving, they die based on how they get oxygen from the water. That's how that works, right? That's what gills are for. It filters oxygen from the water. I'm actually realizing I'm not sure how that works. Biology and zoology have failed me to some extent. All right, you're gonna stay alive, Mr. Probe Guy. Is there a way to stay alive here? I haven't cast a map on, a game on this map yet, Hitchhiker. But what is this? There's like a crazy alternate whole world up here that the probe is checking out. All right, hold on. Okay, so we have. I'm gonna assume these are stacked power generators that take a while to get through. Did the probe just get through that? Can they? Oh no, he went down this way and then up. Okay, this is weird stuff, man. Alright, so this is a two-player map. But you do have expansions in the corners that have gas, which is fantastic. Your natural base has a gas easily. Third base looks like no gas available unless you take it here, which is a little bit towards the middle and a little bit dangerous. So yeah, your natural base is good, and we'll see what these players decide to do when it comes to their third bases. In the meantime, this Marine is really hunting this probe, and the probe, again, almost dead, but not quite there. Continuing to explore different areas of the map. Singularity charge is coming up. No expansion from Brain. We can see that on the mini-map, and I'm going to guess this is a Dragoon. It certainly is a Dragoon moving out, and speed about 45-50% complete at this stage of the game. Oh, we've got little Xenoga temples up north here, too. Wow, you have to worry about that? That's why there's a pylon here, because he's like, this is a back door. It takes a while to get through. Like, one Marine is not going through that, but, you know. Right. This Marine has to be up here covering this as well. Dude, there are a lot of sneaky ways into your base here on Hitchhiker, and it's going to lead to some insanity. I'm fairly certain that's the case. So, Natural Nexus coming up after Cybercore, which is just safer, and it allows you to get that range up faster for Dragoons. It's like 8 hits to kill an SCV. So if you're an SCV getting chased by a Dragoon, just run, and you'll probably outrange the Dragoon and get out of there with your life. If I had to make a bet on that, I would say that's probably what happens. Probe gets a free shot off on that SCV. SCV coming in. Again, this is Light we're talking about here. This is an elite Terra player. Possibly the best Terran player of all time. Not of all time, but that's Flash, but currently, yo, right? And the SCV does not get the scout off. Doesn't see the robotics facility coming in. Does see the Nexus at the natural, so knows it's not a one-base play. What? This pylon is just here to block machine shop, but guess what? You can lift and land and build machine shop somewhere else. I mean, Brain is just harassing to... Oh my goodness. He's blocking the attempts to land the factory with pylons. Brain, you're an insane person. Guess what? Now he's got 2 Dragoons up here that can outrange the bunker. And the delay on the tank or the delay on the Vultures and Spider Mines is real all of a sudden. And now you need 3 SCVs to get pulled off the line because this 3rd Dragoon is going to move up here and participate shortly. Hey, buddy. Friend. Brain. Guy. There it is. Wait, there it is. Okay, so now you need a 3rd SCV or, you know, just 2 more SCVs. Wow, all right. Maybe that's what the math adds up to. So 3rd base here, safe-ish, but there's no gas. But I guess you need a lot of zealots who are going to do this anyway, so hey. Yeah, down and around and up. And that leads you to there. Okay. So it's not wide open. You still have to kill stuff to get here. It's like the map is split in half along the top and bottom areas. It's very, very weird the way this is set up. Anyway, pretty standard that this is happening. It's draining a lot of resources off of Light here and losing a lot of mining time. So that's not good. Look who's making a Wraith, though. Interesting. Light's making a Wraith. We're doing some fancy tank micro right now on this guy. Bonk, bonk, bonk. The Dragoons are like, okay, if he wants to come out, we'll jump on him. But what are we... Okay, there we go. Siege mode. I'm like, what are we doing to get rid of these Dragoons other than fancy tank micro? And the answer is going to be siege mode, which is fine. Robotics Bay just now warping in somewhere up here along with observatory. Shuttle speed coming in. I feel like we're going to Reaver drops. Keep an eye on that production tab and see if we end up getting a Reaver or not. I mean, right now... Okay. Yeah, right now it's an observer. To add to this observer that's already running around checking to see if there are any 3rd bases or whatnot. Here, floating the engineering bay up to see what's going on outside those temples. Again, neither player wants to be caught by surprise here. Nobody wants their opponent to knock down these Zelnaga temples and just waltz into their main base and kill everything. That would be pretty bad news bears. Observer still scouting around, but guess what? There is a missile turret, and now the observer is dead. It almost didn't fire when it could have. Is there a way to stop turrets from firing that I'm not aware of? Because that almost might be an interesting kind of a trap, right? Like you hold fire on the missile turret, and then the observer comes in, doesn't quite recognize it's, you know, it's in range of a turret until it's too late, and it's inside the circle where it can't escape. And then it dies. I'm just wondering if that's possible. This tank count's getting nuts. We've talked about this a lot, guys. How do you beat a Terran player if you're Protoss? Well, you need to make a lot of Dragoons. You need to expand a whole bunch, out-expand your Terran opponent, which is happening now for Brain. And you need to whittle down the tank count. You cannot let them just go right to 30 tanks, because then you're probably going to die. It is so hard to deal with a Terran player who has 30 tanks. You have to jump on those tanks and kill them. Yes, will you lose Dragoons? Uh-huh. Will you make probably bad trades? Yeah, most likely, but that's why you have more bases than the Terran player does. You can afford those losses more easily. 3rd base coming up from Light here, and we did make it through. We made it through the power generators. So he's going to try to expand down here and make sure that this doesn't get wiped out. I mean, he's worried about some kind of a drop coming through here at the same time. Is somebody further? Oh, what? You're going to attack? Why? He's opening his own back door here. Getting through this Zelnaga temple, which okie doke. Okie dokie artichoke. Reavers are in production. And yes, we are setting up to take this bottom left-hand base for Brain. So again, out-expanding your Terran opponent, killing their tanks. The Wraiths are an interesting option. I'm assuming it's just anti-drop tech. That's another dead observer. Just wandering too close to the turret and dying both times. I guess it's just anti-drop. You're just going to kill shuttles with these Wraiths. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know what they're for unless they're really early Arbiter prevention, but why not just have Goliaths for that? Interesting. I wonder if the meta is kind of shifting towards more Wraith play in this matchup as opposed to Goliath play. I don't know what these Dragoons are doing. Guys, what are you up to, friends? We're dancing, obviously. Alright, gonna take down this set of power generators too, which doesn't do anything other than give him kind of a more straightforward shot up to this back door. Is he gonna take out... Yeah, this second Xel'Naga Temple is gonna explode too. And is this... Yeah, this tank is firing on this generator. So both players are interested in opening up paths to some extent. The tanks are moving out, man, and they've got +1 attack, and they're looking pretty darn mean. Oh, are they here going to wipe out this side? Man, there are so many blocked paths here. Observer just happenstance happens to come by this direction. Engineering base sees the Dragoons coming in, which again takes a million years coming in through this back door. Tank's doing a lot of damage, 33 damage per hit, and there are like 10 of these guys. Yeah, 9 of these dudes. And this is where the 4th base is for Light. So I gotta say, based on how we talk about this matchup and how we've seen Protoss players beat Terran players, especially players like Light, who are abjectly terrifying when they have 30 tanks, I don't know that Brain's gonna win this game. He needs to start making trades now. And maybe he can. Like, maybe this is a situation in which Brain makes a trade, takes out a couple tanks here, but Light doing a great job pulling back to a better position for him to hold here. The Wraiths actually, there we go. The Wraiths trying to take down these shuttles, but Reavers are sitting in the mix here, trying to get some shots off. And this is what we're talking about here from Brain. He manages to wipe out every single one of the tanks in this locale. Okay, I guess there's 2 up there that are still firing. Yes. Are the Reavers dead? Mm-hmm. Are the shuttles dead? Mm-hmm. But guess what? The tanks are gone. The tank count has been set to 2. That was huge. That was massive for Light. Okay, there's 3 here. Siege tank says, get off my front lawn. Stop trying to take down my lawn decor. I bought this Xel'Naga Temple at Flea Market 3 weeks ago. Please stop trying to kill it with your Dragoons with their side disruptors, phase disruptors. That's what he's saying. I mean, that's how siege tank pilots sound. Drivers? Probably drivers. Anywho, 128 to 107 supply. Brain is up. He's got his 4 bases running. 4 bases are equally running with maybe a 5th base here from Light top right. If you can afford it. But we actually have some Corsairs in the mix for this one. Interesting. Okay, a Corsair in the mix. Man, this map is bad for listening to ambient noise because you hear Dragoons firing at something and you assume there's a battle, but there's been so many times it's just we're killing a power generator. We're killing a Xel'Naga with Temple. Like, we're not actually fighting, we're just opening up stuff. Oh, this is... Okay, this would be more problematic except for the fact that Brain's right on top of it. Gonna try to siege tank drop on top of that 3rd base of Brains and... Nope. Not at all. Get out of there, dropship. Get on out. Spider mines laid all in the top right-hand corner. Which, is Brain going to try to expand up here? I don't necessarily feel like that's his place to take, but... I don't know. There's no actual... Nothing actually preventing him from doing it. It just feels like it's more light space on this map. Hitchhiker. Weird, weird map, man. This is crazy good stuff. Alright, tank count. Back up to 6? Doesn't seem like enough, honestly. This is a lot of +1 Dragoons and Zealots here. Tanks are firing. Dragoons are jumping right on top of these suckers. Their target firing a little bit. Is the Vulture count enough to deal with the Zealots? That is always what I'm asking. Is he trying to... I think he already did do some Zealot dropping behind those lines. Tank count just getting massively obliterated there. That one's gone too. Yeah. So, I don't know. For the first 10 minutes, it really felt like Light had the upper hand, but Brain's doing a fantastic job of killing these tanks. Yes, the revenge of the spider mines is a problem. Vultures came in and took them down. Where was that 30 seconds ago? You could have saved the tanks, you fools. Light was to expand top right, but there's already a Nexus coming in there. I guess he can expand here instead. Light is expanding extremely well. Like, he is macroing hard, expanding a whole bunch, really trying to nullify the advantage that Protoss has of being able to expand faster than the Terran when they're mech, he's just not... He doesn't believe that's the case. Doesn't believe it's true at all. We got High Templar and Zealots in the mix. Arbiters in production. The Terran base is nothing but factories and missile turrets and whatnot, which we're not surprised about. In the top right-hand base, Light's going to try to take it down now that it's finished. I'm not sure there are enough Dragoons to save it. I mean, it'll take him a minute to get in there with all of the spider mines that are getting laid. There's no anti-air here, man. There's a science vessel for EMPs. But he's just going to drop on that tank and try to kill it. Ooh, he storms a whole bunch of those vultures. Defensive Matrix keeps the tank alive. But the Nexus stays alive here as Brain has enough to wipe this out. This command center that Light thought would be his, I don't know, that's like his 5th base. Maybe even a 6th base, depending on the counting here. This is some excellent micro on just both of these people. Look at that tank positioning. Oh, that's so good. The Zealot's waiting for the spider mine to get wiped out. Tank's gone, and now Vulture's not really going to do a whole lot without a whole ton of spider mines, and they're not willing to lay those, or they're out. Which, you know, a couple of them are out, a couple of them have a couple more to spend. This base is extremely not defended at the moment. I don't know that Brain knows it exists, or he'd wander over this way and try to wipe it out. It's not accessible from the low ground at all. Yeah, this is all a high ground, low ground style map. I'm liking it. I am enjoying it for sure. Is that +3 Mecharuni? It is +3 Mecharuni being researched. Ground attacks are getting +2, so Brain's behind on that. But still, 156 to 137 total supply. Brain is taking the top right base. For all intents and purposes, he should be able to win this game. Okay, so he gets a High Templar for a Storm Drop. And 2 Zealots to kill this tank, which is really all you need to wipe out this base. Meanwhile, there was a recall up here. The Arbiter is dead, but there is recall and stuff inside the Terran base. Killing missile turrets and supply depots and not really focused killing at this stage. But Zealots inside the mineral line are definitely doing some focused killing in this location. It's 51 SCVs. It's falling a little bit precipitously. The SCVs are fighting for themselves a little bit effectively here, but the Vultures doing most of the damage. This is still happening down here. +2 attack on these Dragoons. Killing turrets so that future attacks are easier or that Light has to replace them. And that's resources he doesn't want to spend. He only has 300 minerals in the bank right now. This one Dragoon hiding up in this corner has got 4 kills. 5 kills. He might kill a factory all by his lonesome at the moment. Brain is pushing into this 4th base of Lights. Getting pushed back a little bit. The tank positioning is excellent. The 2-2 is very nice. Charon Boosters is on the way. Oh, and he recalls right on top of the base there. He had Arbiters in the mix. That is a full evacuation of the SCVs. Storming the Vultures that are trying to come around the top here. Yeah, I think that's a death blow for Light. Looking at it here, it's 61 to 47 workers, 150 to 115. The base count is humongously favoring the Protoss player at the moment. He's mining from 1, 2, 3, 4 total bases. Light has this guy right here, and that is it as far as mining bases are concerned. I guess his natural still has some resources, but alright, fine. 2 to 3 bases. Not ideal. No, 4 bases. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because both players have their naturals rolling. And actually, the main base still has some, barely has a little bit left here for both of these guys. A lot of them, these are really high value mineral patches here. So, alright, this is what we're looking at. It is 166 to 119 total supply. The tank count is 6. 8. It's 8. This base has been reclaimed thanks to the power of siege tanks. It looks like Brain is going to try to get in here again, but a frontal assault seems pretty ill-advised considering the tank placement's behind these cliffs. Well, not cliffs necessarily. They're not naturally occurring, but whatever. Walls is what they are. But you know what? A frontal ground assault it is. If we're Brain, We're going to move right on in here and see what can get done. Stasis on the science vessel was big. Nobody got caught with an EMP there. Another tank down. Again, the focus firing on the tanks is great. Storm on the tanks and target fire. Nope, not target firing, actually. The vultures come in. This is just Brain A moving in this location, but he is going to go ahead and wipe out every single tank in this location. And that's going to be it, man. I don't see Light winning this thing. Brain coming through. Holy smokes. Just like a wrecking ball. There are 5 tanks showing up here. Zealots are again getting into this base. There's an SCV transfer. It's a bad time for this, Light. The SCV is getting transferred in. The Zealots actually ignoring the SCVs. Trying to take down that command center, at least. Friendly fire tank splash on the SCVs, though. That could have been a lot worse in the end. And the command center lands again. Wow, both players about 300 APM at the moment. This is getting... Whew, this is getting intense right now. Brain doing such a great job wiping out that tank count over and over and over again. But the vultures doing great. More tanks keep showing up. Doing great. But look at this bank. 3,000 to 1,500 for Brain. Or 3,000 minerals and 1,500 gas there for Brain. Light at 300, 500. It's just not... It's not sustainable the longer the game goes on here. And again, we just have Brain mashing his face directly into Light's face, headbutting him as hard as he can and hoping he doesn't get knocked out in the process. But yeah, look at this. Tank count again whittled down to nothing in this location. There's a tank back there. There's a tank in production in the production tab. Nice spider mine catching several of those zealots. And look at this. Another base coming up for Brain. Another one that I mean, it's sort of, I guess it's on his side of the map. So that counts. This is going to be a recall into this base. It should be. No, the good game. Light sees it coming, sees the writing on the wall, taps out, and Brain is your winner in 22 minutes and 4 seconds. Wow. That might be the best game I've ever seen Brain play. That was some really nice Protoss, man. Got the +3. Eventually late, but that's okay. Expanded like a boss. Wrestled this top right-hand base. Got the control from Light before Light could take it. And protected it, which is a huge deal. Killed a ton of SCVs. There's only 35 SCVs for Light right now. That is not going to do it in the long run, and he's just constricted in all places. The recall into the main base was annoying, not exactly game ending by any stretch, but just keeping Light's attention elsewhere is going to be good just psychologically for Brain there. So nice job, man. He did, I mean, he shut down all attempts to harass. Getting cannons up here. This tank showed up. I thought for sure this whole base was dead, but then nope, there was a shuttle in the vicinity. And I'm sure Brain had spotted it on its way in or something, but great. Great match. End of the day, 148,000 points for Light, 180,000 points for Brain. Produced, killed, and lost is fairly even. I mean, Light lost about 100 more units, which is going to add up there in just a 20-minute game there to be a big-time problem. Bunch more buildings died for him, too. The aggression by Brain was fantastic. And then more gas mined, more minerals mined, and more total spent by 9,000 for Brain in that match. And if you're going to outspend your opponent by 9,000 resources in 22 minutes, you're probably going to have time. All right, that was incredible. So good. All right, well, that is going to be it for me then today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.